The deepest hole ever drilled was sealed shut because of what they heard. Imagine drilling a hole so deep it pierces through miles of solid rock, a relentless journey into the unknown. But what if that journey was cut short, not by failure, but by something unsettling? For decades, humanity has been obsessed with what lies beneath our feet. We gaze at the stars, but what about the mysteries hidden right below the surface? There's one place on Earth where our ambition took us further than anywhere else, a project so vast, so audacious, it captured the imagination of the world. It's a story of incredible science, unparalleled engineering, and a chilling rumor that spread like wildfire, hinting at something far more sinister lurking in the depths. In the remote, desolate expanse of the Kola Peninsula in Russia, nestled amongst the harsh Arctic landscape, lies a metal cap, bolted down, unassuming, almost forgotten. But beneath it lies the Kola superdeep borehole, a monument to human curiosity, and arguably, our greatest attempt to peer into the very heart of our planet. This isn't just any hole. It's the deepest scar humanity has ever etched into the Earth's crust, plunging an astonishing 12,262 meters, or about 7.5 miles, straight down. To put that into perspective, if you stood at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, you'd still be miles away from matching this depth. The year was 1970, when the Soviet Union embarked on this colossal undertaking. This wasn't about finding oil or gas. This was pure science, a race to reach the Earth's mantle, the vast, mysterious layer that makes up most of our planet's volume. It was a scientific endeavor on an epic scale, a Cold War race not against a rival nation, but against the unknown. Scientists wanted to understand the composition of our planet, the secrets hidden within its ancient rocks, and, perhaps, even the very origins of life. And for a while, it was incredibly successful. They found microscopic fossils of single-celled organisms over 2 billion years old, hinting at a bustling prehistoric world deep underground. They even discovered that water wasn't just on the surface. It could be found trapped deep within the Earth's crust, squeezed out of rocks under immense pressure. The project pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible, redefining our understanding of geology. But then, in the 1990s, the drilling stopped. The hole was sealed. The official reasons cited were practical, scientific, and perhaps a little mundane, or so they said. But the story didn't end there, not for the public, anyway, because lurking beneath the official reports, a far more chilling explanation began to take root, whispered in hushed tones, then shouted across the fledgling internet. The rumors started subtly, then exploded into a full-blown urban legend that captivated millions. It claimed that the drilling stopped not because of technical difficulties or budget cuts, but because the scientists had heard something. Something terrifying, something that made them pack up their equipment and seal the hole for good. The legend, often attributed to a sensationalist Finnish tabloid, claimed that as the drills pushed deeper and deeper, the scientific team decided to lower highly sensitive microphones into the abyss. They wanted to record the sounds of the Earth's inner workings, the grinding of tectonic plates, the rumble of unseen seismic activity. But what they allegedly captured was far from geological. The story went that the microphones picked up a cacophony of human screams, agonizing wails, and tortured cries. The sounds, it was said, were undeniable, unmistakable. These weren't geological rumblings. These were the sounds of suffering, of countless souls trapped in an eternal torment. The chilling conclusion, eagerly embraced by those who believed the legend, was that the Kola superdeep borehole had pierced through the crust and opened a direct portal to hell itself. The scientists, overwhelmed by what they heard, supposedly fled in terror, abandoning the project and sealing the hole to contain whatever unspeakable horrors they had unleashed. The tale was gripping, terrifying, and utterly captivating. It quickly spread globally, fueled by grainy recordings supposedly of the actual sounds, and articles that presented it as undeniable fact. It was a story tailor-made for our deepest fears, the unknown, the supernatural, and the idea that our scientific hubris could lead us to encounter forces beyond our comprehension. The problem, of course, is that it wasn't true. Not a single word of the sounds from hell story. The recordings, later debunked, were a composite of sound effects from horror movies and some modified audio. The finished tabloid article was a complete fabrication, later admitted to be so. It was a masterful hoax, a testament to how easily a compelling, terrifying narrative can take hold, especially when it taps into ancient fears. But if the legend was a lie, then what really happened down there? What truly stopped the Kola superdeep borehole from reaching its ultimate goal? The truth, while less sensational, is perhaps even more awe-inspiring, a testament to the raw power of our own planet. The actual reasons for sealing the Kola superdeep borehole are far more grounded in physics, geology, and the harsh realities of pushing technology to its absolute limit. The primary technical obstacle, the true adversary that ultimately won the battle against human ingenuity, was heat. Our planet, it turns out, is a much hotter place inside than we ever fully appreciated. As the drill bits plunged deeper, the temperature skyrocketed. While scientists had predicted a temperature of around 100 degrees Celsius, at that depth, what they encountered was a scorching 180 degrees Celsius, 375%. To give you an idea, that's hot enough to bake a cake, or, more relevantly, hot enough to make most drilling equipment start to melt or fail catastrophically. Imagine trying to work in conditions where the very tools you rely on are constantly battling to stay solid. Drill bits designed to chew through miles of granite would melt, deform, or simply snap under the immense pressure and heat. Every time a drill bit failed, the entire section had to be pulled up, sometimes for days on end, just to replace a component. It was like trying to dig a hole with a spoon that kept turning into jelly. The sheer scale of the equipment failure was staggering. The project became a constant battle against the inferno beneath. And it wasn't just the heat. The deeper they went, the stranger the rocks became. At shallower depths, rocks are typically brittle. They crack and break, making them relatively easy to drill through. But at the extreme pressures and temperatures found 7 miles down, the rocks behave differently. They become plastic. Instead of breaking cleanly, they started to flow, to deform, almost like a very thick, gooey substance. This created a secondary, equally formidable problem: the borehole walls themselves. As the drill descended, the plastic rock would slowly, inexorably close in on the shaft. It was like drilling a hole in quicksand, but solid rock quicksand. The borehole would literally close up behind the drill bit, pinching it, trapping it, and making it incredibly difficult to retrieve equipment or even push further. They had to constantly re-drill sections, fighting against a planet that seemed determined to swallow their efforts whole. It was a Sisyphean task, endlessly pushing against a geological force that was simply too powerful. Beyond the technical nightmares, political and economic realities also played a significant role in the project's demise. The official end of the Kola superdeep borehole project came in 1992, not long after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union had poured enormous resources into this scientific endeavor, viewing it as a symbol of their technological prowess. But with the country dissolving, priorities shifted dramatically. Funding for ambitious, non-commercial scientific projects like Kola dried up. Budget cuts became a daily reality, making it impossible to continue the incredibly expensive and challenging drilling operations. The combination of insurmountable technical hurdles, the staggering costs of operation, and a dramatic shift in the political landscape of Russia effectively spelled the end for the Kola project. So, when the drilling finally ceased, it wasn't because of terrifying screams from the underworld. It was because the drill bits were melting, the rocks were flowing like thick syrup, and the money simply wasn't there anymore. The mighty borehole, once a symbol of Soviet ambition, was capped with a robust, welded metal lid. This wasn't to trap demons, but to prevent accidents and protect against potential groundwater contamination. The site gradually became deserted, the elaborate drilling platforms slowly rusting, leaving behind only the concrete base and that solitary metal cap as a silent testament to a truly monumental effort. Let's circle back to that crucial question. What did they hear? Because they did hear something, just not the screams of the damned. The scientists were indeed lowering microphones, but what they were recording were the deep, complex vibrations of the Earth's crust. These are natural geological sounds, the subtle rumblings, the creaks and groans of a living planet. These seismic recordings, though fascinating, were easily misinterpreted or manipulated by those eager to fuel a sensational story. There was no credible evidence, no scientific report, no witness testimony from anyone involved in the project that ever corroborated the hell sounds. Myth. It was a brilliantly crafted piece of fiction that exploited our inherent fear of the unknown. Yet the legend persists. It continues to be shared, retold, and reimagined. A cautionary tale about human hubris and the mysteries that lie just beyond our reach. It's a testament to the power of a good story, even when it's utterly false. But the reality of the borehole's ceiling, driven by boring mundane reasons like extreme heat, immense pressure, and shifting politics, is in its own way far more profound. It's a story of human limits and the sheer, unyielding power of the natural world. The Kola superdeep borehole stands today as a unique legacy. It remains the deepest artificial point on Earth, a testament to what we can achieve when we set our minds to it. It's a symbol of human curiosity, our relentless drive to understand the world around us and even beneath us. It pushed the boundaries of engineering, yielding invaluable data about the Earth's crust, its seismic activity, and its geological composition that we couldn't have gotten any other way. The ultimate lesson from Kola is not one of devils or demons, but of respect. It taught us that the Earth's interior is far more inhospitable, more extreme, and more dynamic than any imagined underworld. It's a place where rock flows like plastic, temperatures soar to inferno levels, and even our most advanced technology struggles to survive. So, the next time you hear the tale of the Kola superdeep borehole and the chilling sounds from hell, remember the truth. Remember the incredible human endeavor, the scientific breakthroughs, and the simple, brutal facts of geology that ultimately brought the project to a halt. It's a story not of supernatural terror, but of groundbreaking science meeting the formidable, unconquerable power of our own planet. If you want to dive deeper into more incredible scientific mysteries, click on the video now.